welcome to Beaufort County News and Views. I'm Catherine Glover, and I'm the director of the Washington Beaufort County Chamber of Commerce. I'm speaking tonight with Heidi Smith, and she's with Tideland EMC, and she is, welcome, Heidi.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
What's your title again?
It's Manager of Corporate Communications. That's the most pertinent part of my job, I feel like. So we just leave it at that.
Piece. You've got a
Yeah.
lot more that's added to that title as well that we were talking about. So talk to me a little bit. How long have you been with Tideland EMC?
24 years.
That's an awesome time.
It is. It's been every day I fall in love with my job more and more. We serve great folks. We have a lot of exciting things going on with the co-op, and really proud to be there this year because this is our 75th anniversary. So just proud to be a part of a cooperative tradition that's been really meaningful in people's lives, including the employees.
So let's talk a little bit about, I guess, just the history, or, you know, you've been there 24 years, so you've watched it change over the years. Obviously, has it always been the name?
No, actually, Tideland started out as 4 separate power companies, 3 cooperatives, and 1 investor-owned utility. So over time, the first merger occurred in the 70s between the co-op in Pamlico County and the co-op in Pantego. And then over time, we brought in 2 additional power companies, and so we took on the new name of Tideland EMC in the 1970s, and obviously it well reflects the geography of our service territory because we serve from Ocracoke, all of mainland Dare County, all of Hyde County, Washington County, all the way Beaufort County, both sides of the river, Pamlico County, and all the way to Craven County. So our territory is really defined by water.
So you're kind of you touch almost all of those. I mean, you're in all of those communities.
We are.
That's crazy. So let's talk. Obviously, we had a big event recently with Hurricane Matthew, and you know, these are, I guess, those are, I wouldn't say stressful times for y'all, but they're challenging times when something like that, a storm comes through. Talk to me a little bit about the process that y'all prepare and how things went with it.
Well, the one thing about being in the service territory that we're at, we've had a lot of storms, and the thing about a storm is that it always leaves you better prepared for the next storm. There are always lessons to be learned, and obviously we feel like we did a great job with Hurricane Matthew, but the first thing we said to ourselves is, what can we do better to be better prepared for the next time? Hurricane Irene really was a turning point in some ways for us. It was the worst storm in our co-op's history, and we were not involved in social media at the time. We also didn't have an online outage map, and we didn't have our outage text messaging program. So Hurricane Irene, we listened to our members, and they really wanted information that they could consume on the go when they were away from their homes, without power, and were really increasingly having to depend on mobile devices. So we became involved in Facebook in October 2011. June 2012, we launched our online outage map and our outage text messaging program. And those programs have really taken off, and we feel like they have really best positioned us. I always say it's one thing to be without power, but it's totally a different thing to be in the dark with no information. And so we have really made that a primary focus of our business model is to be open, transparent, and accountable, and to keep our members engaged every step of the way. And we're really proud of the job that we've done. And but we're not resting on laurels. We're already examining what things can we do better, what things can we implement going forward that will make us much more open and available and accessible to our member owners.
Well, that's huge, because when you're in the middle of the storm, and it's great that you're communicating. That was one thing during this storm that was kind of frustrating, was that I would, you know, we never knew, and I would see Tideland was saying, you know, this area should be back on, or we're working on it, and you always are in constant communication. Do you work during that whole time?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, I tell folks, when you work with a power company, I mean, there's this always on mentality. So, and that's just the nature of the business. But again, and sometimes, quite frankly, Catherine, we don't. There's times that we don't know, and we just forthrightly say to our members, we don't know. Here's our best estimates. Here's what we're hearing. Again, it goes back to being accountable, transparent, and being real about what we say to our members and share with the public, and because that's the way they can best manage their own affairs and make decisions, especially during a storm where you have to make a decision. You know, is it time for me to do A, B, or C of my own personal action plan? And so we believe that keeping our members informed helps them make informed decisions about things that they need to do for their own personal safety, their family's well-being, and their business well-being.
And part of your job, obviously, main piece of your job is the communication with the members and things like that. And so you've implemented and updated a lot of that.
We have, and again, I think one of the things that we're fortunate about being a small power company is that we don't have these layers of division that separate us from our consumers. So we're right there on the front lines. We can hear, and oftentimes when you're in any business for a long period of time, you sort of have a tendency to start talking technical speak and things like that. And our members really keep us focused on don't assume that everyone knows the same things. Reiterate some of the basics over and over again. For some people, this was their first storm that they'd ever been through. So we have to, really review for them certain messages that pertain to storms, flooding, preparedness. And, again, staying close to the membership helps us do a much better job.
Wonderful. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute with Heidi Smith with Tideland EMC.